Hello and welcome to Scribes and Songsters. I'm Veronique Mandel. Visiting with us today is Windsor author and artist Matthew Bhanks. Today we're going to talk with him about his Master Defender series, which is comprised of 4 action-packed science fiction novels. And let's get to it. Welcome to Scribes and Songsters.
How's it going? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. So first of all, tell us a little bit about Matthew Bhanks. Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up right here in Windsor, Ontario. From what I remember, I came here when I was 3 years old. And I just went to school. I went to Eastwood Public School, St. Joseph's High School, and then University of Windsor. A lot of people think that I took English at the University.
What did you take?
I took Communication, Media, and Film, which is still part of the Social Sciences department, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
And were you a storyteller when you were little?
You could say something like that. Yeah, the way how I picture it is drawing got me into writing. So I always draw a lot of different characters, create background stories for them. And that's actually how I came up with Master Defenders. The main character, his name is Knaven. I created that character when I was around roughly 5 years old.
5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take art at school? I mean, was there something that inspired you, or were you just really talented?
You know, I was really talented. That's to be honest.
Yeah,
that's the best way
absolutely.
to say it.
You are or you're not.
I was the kid artist back in the day, and all my grades growing up, and people would come to me and they would say, "Wait, Matt, did you just draw that? That looks so realistic." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." It was, from such a young age, I used to draw a lot of Batman and Sonic, but then when I reached around 5 years old, I was like, "Wait a minute. I can create my own character." And then that's how I developed Knaven. Back then, his name was Supercan. And, it's been quite the journey just as I got older, just developing more characters and just creating background stories for them and then meshing all those stories together. And like I said, that's actually how I came up with Master Defenders. I came up with Master Defenders when I believe, 14 years old, around there.
So did you tell these stories to your friends? Did you run them by someone, or did you just sort of write them? Did you have someone to bounce things off?
I didn't really tell anyone about it. I would say, well, what I did is when I was in high school, that's when I actually wrote the full story. It was actually a short story at first. Mm-hmm. And then I developed it into a novel. I have a good friend named Khalil Jones, and I showed him chapter 1. He was the first ever person to read chapter 1 in Master Defenders.
What do you think?
He loved it. He was very interested with the character, Tina Truman. She's the first character introduced in the novel series. Mm-hmm. And then, but of course, the main character is Knaven, and there's all kinds of action-packed battles and various characters with all kinds of uncanny abilities. I grew up on sci-fi fantasy action movies, and I think that's what really inspired me. A lot of Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Stan Lee, George Lucas, people like that.
Did you read sci-fi novels?
Not until I got older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would read just other genres, but after I wrote Master Defenders, that's when I decided, let me just see some other novels as well. Actually, you know what? What am I saying? There is one novel that I did like a lot, and it was Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. It was based on the video game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah. Were you a video game player?
Yes, my brother more so, but yeah.
Now, did your brother have a role in everything that you were doing?
My brother and I, we both created a lot of characters growing up. We were very talented. We still are. Malcolm, that's my brother, and he's my older brother, and of course, he's always supported me in my dreams, and it's just been amazing how much he's helped out also with the books, and then of course the web series as well, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah.
And then of course he did develop some characters in Master Defenders. He developed the character Titanium Titan and another character named Lynx, which is a very funny, erratic character who I have a huge fan who talks about Lynx quite a bit. His name's Costa, and he loves that character a lot. A lot of people love Lynx, but that's the whole thing. It was just about how can I mesh together a lot of different genres? So sci-fi, fantasy, action, drama, romance, because you have to have some romance in every single story. And then, of course, sprinkle a little comedy in there as well.
Yeah, you really did layer it. Yeah.
Thank you.
So sort of tell people what the story is about.
So Master Defenders is a phenomenal sci-fi fantasy action story where two alliances, they're trying to find these rocks. And these rocks give a wavelengths to aliens. When that happens, it can unleash a threat to the world called Xalmer. So what I tell people a lot is that the heroes, they're trying to prevent it from happening. And then the villains, they want it to happen. And then there's so many conflicts and subplots. It's as if the reader is reading a movie or a video game. That's what I like to say. And then some people, they come to me and they say, Matt, the thing is, I don't really like reading. And I tell them, listen, hold on. I know you don't like reading, but this right here, give it a shot. I promise straight from chapter 1, you will be hooked. That is my guarantee. And they said, but Matt, I really don't like reading. Give it a shot. And they do. And then they come back and I get phone calls, text messages, people asking for more books.
That's that's a terrific feeling, isn't it? When they actually, sort of take the time, okay, I'll give it a go. And then they're really surprised and you're delighted. Yeah, absolutely.
And then, like I said, I just tell people straight from chapter 1, they'll be hooked. And I wouldn't have written 4 books over 11 years. That's how long it's been, by the way. 11 years selling books. I wouldn't have written 4 books over 11 years if the first wasn't good. And that's why I tell a lot of people.
You've got quite a list of characters. How to keep them all straight?
Yeah.
Did you ever count how many were in there?
Once or twice, I probably did. It's like 30 plus characters in the first book. And then from there, it just keeps going. The second, third, and fourth, there's always new characters introduced. And then, I still keep the main cast of characters, though. Because I know that that's what the fans really gear towards.
Yeah. So the romance, is it between your two lead stars, Canavan, and what's her name?
Tina. Well, you might think that, but no. No. There is a romance with Tina, and you will have to read the books in order to understand. But no, Canavan, his love is a woman named Vanessa Allen. And her code-name in the story is Celestica.
Right.
And she is a human who, for some reason, she doesn't even know why, she's just in love with this alien, Canavan. And that's who Canavan is. He is an alien who has a human form. And the aliens in my story, they're known as Pixalians. Now, a lot of people get that confused, though, because when
Pixalians.
Pixalians, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, they say that's Pixalians, but no, it's actually Pixalians. That's how you pronounce it. And it's so funny because the web series, like I said, we're going to talk about that soon, but the web series, a lot of the actors, they kept saying Pixalian. And I was like, okay, no. Cut. It's Pixalian, right? And even my cinematographer, right?
It was brilliant.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
he's brilliant.
Oh yeah. Walter Riggy. He's well known around this area, right? Actually, I remember I was watching an interview of this show right here, and then someone brought up Walter's name. Right, yes. So he's paramount. He's well known around the area, and even he would have to correct the actors. He's like, I've been on this set so long, and I know how to pronounce it. Right, and he would tell them, guys, make sure you say Pixalian, not Pixalian. And then, okay, all right, I promise. All right, action, Pixalian, and then comes every time. It's funny, though. We had a great time doing this.
So, did you like aliens or something?
I guess so. I mean, like, when you open up the first book, it says, I don't believe in, like, any darkness or paranormal, whatever, none of that, but maybe aliens. Right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, sci-fi fantasy action, that's my genre. It really is quite the genre because I feel like you have a lot of range with that, especially when it comes to filming.
Yeah.
Right? Because certain things, it's your universe. So there are certain things where you can create your own lore. Like what are the rules of your universe? Right? So
you have a lot of latitude.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now you've got your characters are as diverse as Star Trek, because I mean Star Trek was so ahead of its time in the diversity of its crew. And
can I ask you a question? Are you a Star Trek fan?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you are? Okay, so I'm more of a Star Wars fan.
Oh,
there we go. There we go.
I like Star Wars.
You like Star Wars?
Yeah.
All right, good. There's a story about that, but I can get to that in a second. All right.
So how important was it to you to have that diversity in your characters?
Very important. I was featured on CBC television back in 2014, and there was a whole story about this where there's a lot of diverse characters in Master Defenders. And then there's a part where I say you don't see, for instance, black characters, right? You don't see a lot of black superheroes in the sci-fi fantasy action genre. So what they did was they did a written article, and then they did a video segment of me talking about my books. This was way back, like over a decade now. And I remember when I was watching it on CBC, on their website, there was a part where they were showing different black characters in sci-fi. I remember not just black characters, but diverse characters,
yes.
Right? So they showed a couple from Star Trek, and then they showed some from other media as well. But then one person they showed was Billy D. Williams. Right. So Lando Calrissian from Star Wars 5, 6, Star Wars 9, and then also Star Wars Rebels. Right. So they showed Billy D. Williams in the video segment. Now, here's the story about that. This was back in 2014. Right. Cool thing is 2017. So fast forward over 3 years later, I met Billy D. Williams.
You didn't.
Yes, I did. I met Billy D. Williams.
Where'd you meet him?
At Windsor Comic-Con. Yeah,
well, he came to Windsor Comic-Con.
Yeah, he was around this area back in 2017.
Wow. Did you tell him about your books?
Well, that's the funny story because he bought my book. Yes, Billy D. Williams bought my book. He was sitting across from me at the Windsor Comic-Con. So then I hear, "Hey, Matt, get over here." So I'm looking around like, who says that? And I look in front of me. It's Billy D. Williams. And I grew up on the Star Wars movies, right? So that was really cool.
Now, since then, of course, there have been some black superheroes.
Yes.
And so I was going through, I think I sort of came up with about 19 or 20 in recent years. Okay. So a lot changed in what seemed like a short period of time where there's more diverse characters than there would normally be in the science fiction area.
Yeah. And like, I think that's pretty good that, that they're doing that now. Cause the only thing I will say though, I don't really know if I agree with it. And this is when you have a well-known character, right? And this is me. I'm a black man. I'm saying this right now. Yeah. Okay. When you have a well-known character, and let's say the character is white. Yes, you can change it to a black person, but just try not to do it all the time, right? Because I think it would be a lot cooler, because even with Master Defenders, I'm coming up with my own characters.
Absolutely.
Right? I think it would be a lot cooler if you just come up with your own characters who are black.
Yes.
Right? I think that works a little more. Yeah. Right? A little more better.
Yes.
Especially for, my race and other races as well, because that way they gear towards someone who was originally this color.
Yes.
Right? But that's just me, right? Yeah. It all depends on the person.
Does it work in the opposite? Like, if there's a black character and you got a white guy playing the character, or a white woman, isn't it better to just sort of create a character? If you want a white person to be in a role, create a white character.
Exactly. Right? It
so I see what you mean.
Yeah, it could be reversed, right? So I think that's the main thing. I feel like a lot of writers need to focus on that more.
Yeah.
Rather than just always, okay, here's a very popular character, but let's just switch it all together because we want to gear towards this audience. Well, the best way to gear towards us is to create something new.
Yes,
right?
Which is what you've done.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Is there a message? What are the messages that you have in Master Defenders?
You're going to see, well, the readers know this, right? They're going to see, well, keep being a master, never quit, always defend. And that's what I always write down when I'm signing my books at events, right? And there's another thing, another message is, as individuals, we are nothing but together we're powerful. So what that means is no matter what conflicts you're going through, you can always overcome those conflicts through teamwork and confidence. That's what I always tell people. And true story, people have come to me and they've said that, Matt, your books are very inspiring. And then one of my biggest fans named Ethan, and I remember Ethan way back. Right? This is when he was like 10 years old. I met the guy, but now he's taller than me, and we're great friends today, right? And he still knows about Master Defenders. And he actually revealed to me one time that, hey, listen, your books have actually helped me through some of my darkest moments, right? So me hearing that, I was like, wow, okay. Right, I must be doing something good then.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So.
Absolutely. So earlier we made reference to the trailer that you've made. I want to talk about it.
Okay,
it's
cool.
really good.
Oh, thank you.
Why don't we let folks have a look at it first?
My name is Ian Hall.
More coffee?
I went undercover, voyaging with Richard and his crew to the drifting moon where he sought to make peace. But Richard's intentions were hostile from the start. He constantly said, I found the rocks.
What?
By the order of Phoenix and AIA Central, you're under arrest.
Would you look at that? You caught me.
Please. Just get off my world.
We just want to know where they are.
I did this. I caused this.
I did as you wished. Do you remember anything I showed you?
No.
Cypher has a new task for you.
Of course he does.
So a lot has changed in the last 3 months.
What's your point, Gary?
See for yourself. There's a new drug that's on the market, and it's caught Cypher's attention. However, I wouldn't consider you captain material.
I'm sorry, come again?
Cypher chose someone else.
Damn, who?
Who the hell is Tina Truman?
What's the matter? You don't appear to be as enthused as I thought you'd be.
That's because I'm not enthused at all.
All we have to do after the sentence. The high power will win. You will rise again. But like the other foes. And down will the outland.
Cyclohoma's guardian. The three-antlered masked Pixalian.
That is exceptionally well done.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Tell me about it. Did you do this yourself?
Yes, I'm the only editor for the project. Now, my brother, he did offer to help out in the future, anything else that I need done. But so far, I've been the only editor.
You had quite a cast.
Mm-hmm.
And so where did you get the cast from? Were they Windsor actors or friends?
Yeah, Windsor actors. Some of them are my friends. And we do have one actor from Degrassi, actually.
Really?
Yeah, Dan Woods from Degrassi. He played Mr. Radich from Degrassi. And he was kind enough to play one of the characters. And so it was really fun working with him. But yeah, we got a great cast. Phenomenal people. I'm talking just great people inside and out, and just very talented as well. The talent in Windsor is wow.
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, we have my friend Boris Gatakic. He's in the project, and really funny guy. Love talking with the guy, but he's an amazing actor. And I was quite impressed with how much he improved as well over time while filming this.
Yeah.
Just the way how he's able to memorize lines, and, you read the script and then he understands. And same thing with someone I'm really cool with, Shane Nelson as well. Same thing. He's able to read the lines, understands, very professional actor. Okay, he's actually a part of the union now, but so we had to.
That gets more expensive.
Yeah. We had to really finish up his scenes quickly. He's like, "Hey, man, we got to hurry up." Yeah, we got to hurry up. And then so Boris and Shane Nelson, and then the woman, the main actress, her name is Kiara McClellan, and just phenomenal actress, phenomenal person as well. This is a woman who really took time out of her busy schedule to make this happen, because she doesn't just play one character, and that character being Tina Truman, right? She plays two characters in this story. And there's a whole concept with that, multiversal concept, but of course the viewers would have to watch the web series in order to understand.
So tell us about the web series. So obviously it's all based on your books.
Yes.
And how many parts of the series?
There's going to be 8 parts of the series. Yeah. So this is going to be more of an 8-part series, more like an event for my fans. So the way I'm going to do it is come out with episode 1, and then a week later, episode 2, and then maybe a couple weeks later, episode 3, that sort of deal, so that I can space out each episode, and then also come out with some of my other stories in coherence with each episode as well.
So now, do you write the scripts yourself?
Yes.
So you're a script writer?
Yeah.
And the music? Who composes the music?
Well, actually, so far, those are just royalty-free songs. However, there are some people who reached out to me about the music who want to help. And, I'm going to see what I can do, talk to them soon, and so that we can get this thing really moving. Yeah. Right, which would be great.
And you've got a great cinematographer.
Absolutely.
Working on it. Walter Riggy.
Yeah, cinematographer and friend. You know, he's a
very talented man.
Of course. Yeah, helped me through a lot. Throughout this whole journey. It's been, like I said, it's been quite the journey, right?
Yeah,
just to go from, we started 2020 on this, right? So 2020, we filmed March 8th, and then 3 days later, the world shut down.
Oh, so, yes, of course.
Yeah. So then since then, that summer, we continued, and then we finished at the end of 2020, but back then it was just going to be 1 episode. But then I changed it. I said, hey, you know what? What if we did multiple episodes, make this a whole web series? So originally it was supposed to be just 6 episodes. Then recently I expanded it into 8. And then, of course, with Walter, it's like, okay, sure thing, I'm in. And then years later, he's like, "Oh man, like, we're still going. We're still going all these years. We're still doing it. I've been here 4 years, man." Yeah, that's the joke that we would always say to each other. It's been 4 years, and then the other joke is 2 more days. 2 more days of filming, Walter. Don't worry, 2 more days, right? And I just want to say this: I have there were a lot of friends in this project too who have helped out. And I want to give a shout out to them. I want to give a shout out to, well, of course, my brother, right? He's always been there, very supportive. My parents are very supportive as well. I want to give a shout out to my good friend, Kevin Blanc. He has supported me since way back. I'm talking grade 8. You know, this guy is the true definition of a friend. And, you know, he's helped out on set. And there's also Tobias Tony, Drew Tony, Nate Dunkley, Aaron Sanders. You know, there's all kinds of people.
Aaron Sanders, great broadcaster.
Yes.
Love Aaron Sanders.
Yes.
He graduated from our program.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's terrific.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
So when do you want to start airing it?
So it's going to be around March. Yeah, so I put in the
Okay.
trailer March 28th.
Fantastic.
So now there has been talks about, people have come up to me and they said, hey, you know what? What if you did a screening? And I'm still thinking about it, but if I was to do a screening, it would be just the first 2 episodes because there's no way I would put like all 8 episodes there for a screening. We'll be there for hours. But
and
yeah.
will you tape them all in advance, or how are you going to tape them? Will you do all the taping and then start airing, or will you work on them as you go? Like,
well, my whole thing is finish all the episodes, right? Because I am still editing as well, right? I finished quite a lot, which is great. There's still a lot more to go, but finish all the episodes and then come out with each episode one at a time, that sort of deal.
well, we could talk, you know, for another half an hour, but unfortunately, time's run out. Thank you so much. This has just been tremendous, and
thank you.
Wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
You've got
Appreciate
a lot going on.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
It was a pleasure. My pleasure's mine. Thank you so much.
And that's it, unfortunately, for this edition of Scribes and Songsters. Many thanks to my guest today, Matthew Bhanks. Thanks to our Scribes and Songsters team, producer Brian Sweet and technical producer and editor Gary Glass. Grateful thanks to Tony Toldo and the Toldo Foundation, and to Neil and Tina Queering for their support. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon, right back here on Scribes and Songsters. I'm Veronique Mandel. Bye for now.